How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today...
So hot.
So I'm starting this video off with a little story. I was well on my way to work on this, my SL55, and videos on that are coming up. But I took this because this is a very, very sensible car. This is my Aston Martin V8 Vantage. So I just ran an errand in this car like I usually do. Nothing really out of the ordinary. But I noticed something about the AC system, or rather the climate control in this car. When I put it to cold, it didn't blow cold. And on this car, it's a really small car on the inside. The AC usually works really well. But on this day, it was about 105 degrees and the AC just wasn't blowing cold. And it actually got to the point that it was so hot in the car that I developed a headache. I had to roll the window down and basically collect my thoughts because it was really bad. Now, a failure of this magnitude would usually have people running to the dealer, screaming with their wallets in their hands, just throwing their money at the problem. Now, if you've ever spent time on my channel, you'll know that I'm not like that, and I don't think you guys should be either. So I'm gonna show you how to diagnose an AC problem and how to know whether or not you need to take it to the dealer or you need to take it to a specialist, or if you can fix something on your own in your garage. Now, the first thing we need to do, obviously, is pop the hood. All right, that's an engine. So before we actually start work on the engine bay, we need to first get a lay of the land. We need to know if, first of all, the belts are on, because a belt could have slipped off, a belt could have snapped, and that could have turned off the AC clutch. It works on the accessory drive on the front of the engine, so it's driven by a belt. And what it does is it compresses the gas, the refrigerant, and magic happens with low and high pressures, and cold air comes out your vent inside the car. I'm not quite sure how it happens, but again, magic. What I do know is that you need to check if the AC clutch is engaging. So you should start the car and then turn on the AC. If the clutch, the middle portion of the compressor is not turning as well, if that's just basically freewheeling, then there's something wrong either with the electrical system or the AC compressor itself. Now, I don't think the AC compressor is on its way out, because before that catastrophic event, it was working just fine, and AC compressors don't usually go out like that. It's usually a gradual process where you might hear some whining, you might hear some clanging noises. You hear an AC compressor die, but it doesn't just die like that. And there wasn't any refrigerant leak anywhere. It seems to be okay. The only problem is it just doesn't work. So what I have to find out now is if that compressor actually turns. And if it does, that means I might just be low on refrigerant, but if it doesn't, that means that the problem is likely electrical. All right, so the compressor does not turn, and that means that we have to go looking in the electrical system. So let's get to that. So in this car, there are 3 fuse boxes. One is in the engine bay, one is in the passenger footwell, and one is in the trunk. Since the AC and all that componentry, that's not even, is that even a word? It is now. Since all the components for the AC system are in the engine bay, then it's a safe bet to assume that the fuse box and the fuses, the relays, the circuit breakers, or what have you, will be in the engine bay as well. So it just happens to be right here. And all I'm gonna do is take off the cover, and we're gonna see if the fuse diagram is here, and it is not. Hold please. So one thing I'm a stickler about when you buy any used car is make sure you have the documentation, meaning the owner's manual, because there could be something really useful in that manual, namely the fuse diagram, because if you have a car like this, all you get is a little warning that says, warning, check the book. I actually do have the book in front of me, and here it is. It's actually a leather bound. There's 2 bolts, but one's missing, of course, because it's an Aston Martin. I'm gonna look up the fuse diagram and see if there is an AC relay or an AC fuse. Whoa. All right, I turned right to that page. What are the odds? So we have engine bay fuses, and right here I can see that F10 is a 10 amp and it's an AC clutch. So that is what we're gonna check now. All right, so here is the fuse box. It's a little bit tight, but I think we can manage. And I need to take out fuse 10. Now this right here should be fuse 10. So I'm gonna take this 10 out, and this should be the AC clutch fuse. So if there's anything wrong with this, we'll know what the problem is. So. Oh, look at that. That is glorious. So we have found the issue, and it is a blown 10 amp fuse. Luckily, Aston Martin have graciously fitted a spare. Number one, right here, right next to it, is a 10 amp fuse. So theoretically, I should be able to take this out, put it right into this slot, and then we should, in theory, have AC. And not a minute too soon, because as you see, it is pretty hot. So I am just going to turn on the car. Let's see if the AC is in fact working. Fan on and AC is on, and I should hear a click coming from that AC compressor. Oh yeah. That is cold air, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so that fix was literally free. It cost me $0. I didn't have to spend any time at the dealership. I didn't have to worry about a warranty. It was just a fuse. And sometimes fuses blow, especially when it's really, really hot and it's an AC compressor, and electrical systems get overloaded sometimes. I don't think there's anything wrong with my system, but this is a very, very good result. Actually, scratch that, because it is a new day, and the problem has not really remedied itself. I may have spoken too soon when I said that the problem was absolutely fixed, because yesterday in my garage it wasn't really that hot, and this problem only replicates itself when it is very, very hot. And today it is about 100 some odd degrees. So I took this for a little bit of a shakedown run, and wouldn't you know it, we have another blown fuse. So that means that the problem lies elsewhere. Now, the only thing the problem could be at this point would be the AC compressor, rather the AC compressor coil. And it's actually not that hard to replace, so I think I'm gonna order one. They're around 40 bucks for this Denso part, but it is a bit of a pain in the ass, because I thought I had this licked, but this is what happens when you do stuff yourself. You learn things, and you learn why things fail, and it is very, very hot here. We have gotten rain and debris and all that stuff, so the air conditioner compressor is on the bottom, so that could have contributed to some failure of some sort. So the next time we work on this car, it's gonna be with that air conditioning compressor. And I don't know if I'm gonna get a new one, but I think I'm just gonna replace the coil and the clutch at the same time, just so I have that peace of mind. So it has been a quite eventful day, or rather uneventful day, because car's still broken and still blowing fuses. There is a way, I mean, I could probably put a 15 amp fuse in there, but that introduces even more problems, even more electrical issues. So that's gonna be it. If this video helped you out with diagnosing your own AC issues, even if you can't fix them right away, I hope you like the video and consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me get the word out that I love working on cars, even if I get hot, even if I get really sweaty like I am now. But it helps me get the word out that this stuff is what I love to do, and sharing it with you makes me really happy, and I hope it makes you guys really happy. But if you'd like to contact me for any reason, ask me any car questions or anything at all, you can contact me at @TheRealTavarish. That is Instagram and Twitter, and Facebook.com/AskTavarish. AskTavarish@gmail.com is my email. I do read every single email. So until next time, this is me telling you that on cars like this, and like my Aston Martin with a broken AC that need a little bit of love sometimes, you guys need to wrench every day.